Hello everyone, welcome back. We are on the 18th episode of our series Parenting One Step at a Time. In the previous episode, we talked about extracurricular activities. We looked into the ways how we can find a balance between kids' schoolwork and their activity classes. We also talked about why it is important for the parents to understand the importance of extracurricular activities and how it helps in shaping up the kids' personality, fostering their curiosity, and relaxes their mind. I didn't disclose the topic that I was going to talk in this episode because there were a few topics which were in the queue, but I wasn't able to decide which one I should pick for this episode. But considering today's occasion, which is Dussehra, I finally decided to talk about culture and tradition. Sometimes I feel living outside India brings us closer to our culture. We put extra efforts in bringing India into our homes during the festival season. We do it with a lot of dedication and devotion. Well, I'm not saying that people in India don't do it, but here since we get only these occasions to celebrate and let our kids know about Indian culture, so we try not to leave any stone unturned. In India, it's a part of life. You feel it's Diwali when you walk on roads, but here we have to create that festive ambience, otherwise all days looks just the same. Now, when we are talking about two cultures, it is very important to understand the importance of letting our kids know the respect they should have towards the culture. When people move abroad and if their stay is going to be long, then depending on the duration of the stay, kids and adults adapt that country's lifestyle. But somewhere, they miss their home country, which is very obvious. On the other hand, kids who come out of their home country at a very early age or say who are born abroad have other challenges. Their parents' responsibility is even more to make them feel comfortable with both the cultures, or in other words, finding the balance between the two cultures. What we can say, filling the gaps. And that's what we are going to talk about in this episode, bridging the two cultures and why tradition is important. So did you like today's topic selection? Are you ready to know more about it? I'm also very excited to share my thoughts on this topic. But before that, let me introduce myself to all the first-time listeners. I'm Alpana Dev. I'm your host. I'm a published author of A Girl in the New Town, a blogger at mothersgurukul.com, a freelance content creator, and a mother of two lovely kids who are my greatest source of inspiration for all my parenting posts, articles, and now podcast. Welcome to Mothers Gurukul podcast. Now let's start with the favorite festival. Well, all the festivals are favorite to kids, but Christmas or Diwali is pretty popular and near and dear to all the kids, isn't it? They wait for Santa every year. We started to decorate the Christmas tree after our daughter started going to preschool. We used to decorate it with a few ornaments and whatever craft she used to do at school. That's it. Now, when her brother is also of the same age, we started to hang his crafts from last year. Well, our daughter is 11 now and she understands the Indian festivals very well. And more important, she shows her interest and curiosity in knowing the stories and reasons associated with these festivals and rituals. We try our best to do what we do in India. After she turned 5, we made some changes. We decided what we thought would be a right and an ideal way to explain her. So, what exactly did we do? We started to give her Diwali gift and also decorated the Christmas tree. It is exciting for kids. We told her that the way we go to temple on Diwali, we do Lakshmi Puja and meet our friends, same way here people go to church and listen to Jesus stories. Jesus is another god, same as we have Bhagwan Krishna, Ganpati or Bhagwan Shankar. Our son is still young to understand this, but he automatically follows his sister. So I would say our half of the job is already done. Well, jokes apart, if we follow our culture, tradition at home, do what we are supposed to do, then kids will learn that. They do what they see. If our kids will see that every year during festival time we perform the rituals associated to that festival, then it will give answers to their questions. Questions arise when there is curiosity, and when there are some confusions and doubts, kids can relate and they find answers from the gestures they have already seen. Kids will ask you to put Christmas tree, bake cookies, put some cookies and milk for Santa. Do that. No harm in that. Let them enjoy that phase. But when they are at an understandable age, do tell them your culture too. Sometimes our small gestures help them to remember the things that we do. This example was something that shows the contrast in two cultures. You come across this kind of contrast more often when you are raising your kid outside India, not necessarily in USA. Even in India, nowadays people move to different places because of their work. Very few actually stay in their hometown. People have started celebrating all the festivals with all the enthusiasm and pleasure irrespective of its region. They become a part of that region's culture and also follow their own family tradition. I grew up in Kanpur, so Holi, the festival of colors, is one of the major festivals in North India. But in Maharashtra, it is not. Still, my mom used to make all the sweets that North Indians make during Holi. And also for Diwali, we used to do what we do in Maharashtra. So this way, we were never had a doubt. In short, celebrate the happiness that friends are always giving. Make every day a holiday and celebrate just living. I would say all these festivals give us another chance to connect with each other. So understand the true meaning of happiness and live your life to its fullest. As I said earlier, that sometimes living outside India brings you close to your culture. So I'm a Maharashtrian who has never lived in Maharashtra, but still I know most of the rituals from Maharashtra. If my parents hadn't put their extra efforts in maintaining Maharashtrian culture, tradition at our home, then I don't think it would have been possible for me to talk on this topic. For example, calling kids friends on such occasions as we do on birthdays and involving them in deciding what to do, picking gifts, will help them to remember the occasions and customs related to it. Every year, they will look forward for this time of the year to come. What else could be more satisfying for us as a parent living here? When our kids remember and show their enthusiasm and interest in these small things and expect just a tiny bit of encouragement from us for their involvement. Everyone is busy today. Quite often, we get to hear people saying that we don't get time to do all these traditional things. We want to do but don't know how. Not as a comment, but these are few words that I have recently read in a book. It says, we all have 24 hours. It is not the time that matters, but the activities that we get engaged into during these 24 hours. We have to prioritize them. If we really want to do something, then it is not that difficult to spare some extra minutes out of our day schedule to implement and execute. Little things or little bit of planning and an inner zeal are the only two requirements for giving our kids this great gift of tradition. Believe me, they enjoy it. They really do. We say all the time that India is a land of diversity. It is one of the oldest civilizations. All these sentences are the introductory lines for any essay or article written on Indian culture. But when it comes to follow these traditions, are we giving our 100%? I want to talk about the word tradition that I have deciphered so far, and especially after living abroad for almost 13 years now. But first, I would like to ask you one thing. Have you experienced a dilemma anytime when you have to decide between whether to follow a particular ritual or just to let it go? I agree, for some people this is just a matter of choice, but for others it is an inner desire to stay connected to our motherland. For some, it is a chance to connect to our friends, socialize, and for others, it's a time to create memories which should have a proper blend of socializing and religious factor. So, why is tradition important and why it is necessary to follow certain practices? Here, I've got a good diversified group of friends. I get to know different ways the festivals are celebrated. But one thing that we hear quite often whenever we talk about our tradition or the practice or rituals attached to it, and that is the challenges we face while performing our duties. We often hear sentences like, something is missing. We don't feel that urge to do it here, what we used to do it in India. All days looks the same, and we miss India, especially during festival time. I agree. It's different. You don't get the motivation that you are looking for. Holi doesn't feel like Holi when you step out of your house and see kids collecting sticks and setting up bonfire. Or Diwali doesn't show its presence until we go to temple for any Diwali Mela. But don't you think that it gives us a chance to fill those gaps? A chance to bring India into our house? A chance to relive our days in India? As I said, I have a diversified group of friends, so I get many occasions to know how they celebrate the festivals. Recently, one of my friends moved to Houston from Michigan. She is originally from Chennai. It was so nice of her to share her Michigan memories on this topic. She says, there we used to have a collective puja. It was such a nice feeling. I want my kids to know our culture. I feel it is my responsibility to give them this chance. I can't do much here because of different schedules, but I try to follow as much as I can in terms of rituals that go along with this festival. We do puja as a family. Most of our pujas are in the evening when my husband comes home from work. I definitely miss few things like making rangoli, but at least by doing something, my kids get to know the importance of this festival. I feel satisfied. Another friend who moved from Dubai shares her experience. Staying in Dubai gave my kids a wide exposure about different festivals. We got to see the Hindu festivals and Muslim festivities as well. For kids, it is very important to have that kind of an exposure where they get to know and respect different cultures. Since we do not have families around, friends are like our second family. And participating in social gatherings gives us a chance to expand their understanding and knowledge about various cultures. But at the same time, following whatever we can do at our homes is equally important. Kids shouldn't get the impression that festivals are all about food. So the last line, what she said, but at least that way the kids get to know the importance of festivals, and participating in social gathering gives us a chance to expand their understanding and knowledge about culture. is nothing but filling the gaps that I mentioned in the beginning. It was just an example of what we can do. Even a small effort can be a good start to take our kids, our next generation, on the path of knowing their tradition, their culture, and have respect towards their culture, tradition, and at the same time having the respect towards the country's culture where they are residing. We don't want them to say at later stages that I never remember my family celebrating any festival in its true sense. It was more of a friends and family coming over and having food together. I think it should be a blend of both. After all, the true joy and happiness we get is when we are surrounded with people we care about. And festivals, auspicious occasions are the perfect time to celebrate these memorable moments and create some wonderful memories. So, with this, I'm ending today's episode, and I hope you liked today's topic. I would definitely love to know your thoughts about this topic. Please comment, reach out to me through my social media accounts. I will give everything in the description box. And have a great day. Happy parenting. Stay blessed. Stay happy. Bye-bye.